what time it is. Tunnel time.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. I've been on the flex since flex on. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws.
We are now in the Ferrari Challenge Stradale. This is what everyone marvels over, what everyone talks about all the time. There's websites that track VIN numbers on these cars. I mean, there's such an obsession for a reason. You don't get that on every single car that comes out, especially on some of the newer Ferraris. You're not getting that. I invite Sam from Seen Through Glass, Stradman, any of you guys. Let's meet up, drive this. I guarantee you're buying one. Guarantee you're buying one. And let me drive it too with you in the car. I'll get the chills going. And obviously you guys can drive it. This car is an absolute animal, raw. It's just what Ferraris used to be and what Ferraris should be. I mean, they're supposed to be kind of powerful, get your hair raising on your arms. Woo! And that's just a warm-up run. These things, the Ferrari Challenge Stradale was first born as a challenge car, part of their challenge race series. Then they turned the challenge car into a street car. Challenge means race, Stradale means street. So they turned a challenge race car into a street car versus like the 430 Scuderia, the 458 Speciale, and the 488 Pista. Those were actually road going cars that they turned into kind of a race spec. So you can call it, you know, kind of go in the opposite direction. The street version turning it into a race versus this is a race version turning it into the street. Much different. This thing only weighs about 2,800 pounds. They changed the aero, they upped the horsepower in this. They moved things around in here. Oh, hey. They moved, you know, they removed all the sound deadening material. Straight raw car, no carpets, no sound deadening. 100% raw Ferrari race car. The entire interior is basically all aluminum, Alcantara, which is suede, and carbon fiber. I mean, there's carbon fiber everywhere. Mirrors, wall, shifters, seats, everything. And these seats hug you. I mean, these are like the modern day Ferrari mid-engine race seats, but these were pretty much a first on the mid-engine road cars as far as the carbon sports seats or carbon buckets. These things hug you in hard. Not the most comfortable car, I guess I would say, in the long run to drive on a long road trip, but fun as hell. And don't get in a tunnel or don't get in an open area, because you're going to floor it, you're going to blast it, you're going to run through the gears. So they upped the power on this from the normal 360, about 25 or so to 425. But it's the way it redlines, it's the way it goes up. It's not all about the horsepower. The horsepower was increased. They lightened it to about 2,800 pounds, but it's about how it drives. Titanium rods. It's got some other engine components from the challenge car that just revs it quicker. It just gets up there faster. And this thing likes to play. It wants to go. It doesn't want to be driven in traffic. It doesn't want to be driven slow. It wants to move. This thing is not your daily Ferrari. Like the newer cars, they made them a lot more comfortable. There's a lot of creature comforts. I mean, these cars, the radio was optional, like seriously optional. In some of the B-roll you'll see, the radio looks like it was just, you know, wrapped with Alcantara to match and then just drilled to the bottom of the dash and the bottom of the temperature control, which it probably kind of was. But these cars, very hard to find. They only made about 1,300 of them worldwide, about 330, 340 in the US. But that was in 2004. You figure now there's cars that have been wrecked. There's cars that just have been, you know, not around anymore. So there's less than, you know, 340 cars now in the US, that's for sure. And a lot of them are garage queens. A lot of them sit around. They don't get driven. You know, they're going up in value. People are holding them. But you got to drive this. I mean, how could you not drive this thing? It's an absolute beast. To leave this sitting in the garage and not pull it out, it's just a crime. I mean, listen to this thing. I mean, just the downshifts are amazing. Now, this car runs in either regular or race mode. I run it in race mode all the time. The reason why it sharpens up the shifts, it makes everything sharper. The engine response is sharper. The shifting is sharper. This was in an era where the suspension didn't get a soft mode or a bumpy road mode like some of the newer, obviously Ferrari mid-engine Ferrari cars and some of the front-engine V12 cars. This car is just stiff all the time. It's raw, it's racy, it's ready for the track. The brakes are from the Enzo, and they're just, on this light car, they're strong. I mean, they stopped this thing. For being a car from 2004, however many years old now, the brakes on this thing are still one of the best in my opinion. They don't need to get that much heat in them. At least I don't feel that they do. I'm gonna roll down the window just a little bit. I want you guys to catch a little bit of tunnel action. A little bit of tunnel action. God. This thing is amazing. The new cars aren't gonna give you this. The 488 is not gonna give you this. The 488 Pista is not gonna give you this. 430 Scud comes close. 458 Speciale comes close. Sound, I mean, they're their own unique sounds in their own way. The 430 Scuderia has more of like a loud, buzzing arc sound. It's still not as loud though. This is the loudest mid-engine, lightweight mid-engine race series in the mid-engine line. This one is just special in so many different ways. It just gives you the original Ferrari rawness without being too old. It doesn't have too much of the old inside of it. It's mixed. The engine response is sharp. It just wants to run. It wants to run. It's a young puppy that just wants to go. Oh, you guys ready for it? Another tunnel. Let's go. Oh, the downshifts are just, you hear that? The downshifts are ridiculous. Now, what are the downsides on this car? You guys have heard a lot of things that I said that I love about this car. What are the downsides? You'll hear everybody talk about the transmission. This transmission It's not a dual clutch. It's the F1 sequential single clutch. You know, at its time, it was, you know, race inspired from F1. You know, the best that was out there, the best that was provided. All the mid-engine, well, I should say, all the lightened, rare supercars coming out of Ferrari, a lot of their technology is all coming from F1, right? They're all coming from the racing series. So they pull all that technology from the race team and bring it over. This is around the same time the Enzo was produced. The technology was the same, and Enzo was the peak. And this has got, you know, a lot of the parts from the Enzo. Like I said, F1 transmissions from the Enzo. Brakes, carbon ceramic brakes are from the Enzo. There's a lot of parts from the Enzo. So this thing at the time, you know, was the thing to get. Now the gearbox in low gears, low speed. I mean, this car doesn't like to be driven around the city. It wants to be on an open highway, on the track, running. It wants to be revved high, driven hard by the scruff of its neck and moving. That's what this car wants. Now, if you drive it that way, you'll love the transmission. Now, can you drive that way all the time as a daily? Of course not, right? But if you drive that way when you take it out and drive, let's just say, sporty or aggressive, the transmission won't bother you. Now, it's not super smooth, but you kind of want that grunt. It gets you in the mood, it gets you in the zone to drive this thing hard and kick it off. But if you drive around the city, traffic, low gears, under 4,000 or 5,000 RPMs, you're not going to be happy. Like, meaning it will bug you after a while, and that's its downfall. When I floor it goes to the tunnel, that's what it wants. That's what it wants. You have one of these, you need to drive it like one of these, like how it's supposed to be driven. But like I said, jumping in from the newer cars with the dual clutches, yeah, you'll feel this thing feels a little old. You'll notice the difference. In my McLaren 570S Spider, I jump in from that to this, that's seamless shifts. I jump into this, and it's just different. This is more, let me slap you around a little bit. Let me give you an Italian smack on the head. Vinny, what are you doing, Vinny? Why are you doing it? That's what this transmission is. But you like that uncle that smacks you up sometimes. Gotta keep you in line. That's what this car is. You see your uncle, you see this car once a week, once every few weeks, on the track, special events, holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, whatever. That's what this car is. You drive it at special times. It's a special car. It's not a daily. Now, you could do it daily, don't get me wrong. It's just more of a rougher ride. The suspension's rough. It's made for the track. There's no bumpy road mode or soft transmission mode that you can click. You keep it in race all the time just to go. It's a fun time. Hope you guys enjoy this video. A lot more coming. This is just the beginning. Subscribe, comment, like. Let me know what you guys like, what you guys think, what you think about the car. This is a one of one Ferrari Challenge Stradale in Carrara White. There's only one in the world. This is it. On that note, tunnel time. Alrighty. Safety first. Buddy?
This thing looks so clean, Faisal.
Dude, I had to pull it out every once in a while. How you been, man? How's everything?
Good.
You doing all right?
You look good. Yeah.
I'm just trying to maintain. Yeah, give me a call, text, bro. All right, buddy. Casual, new Ford GT. Just casual. That thing's dope. Great spec.
Flex on them.
People love this thing, man. White Stradale coming down with the Italian stripes. Whew. Get the grill, dude. It's all about the grill and the wheels.